Sandy, I'm very glad we have you on board again, already for our fourth interview today. Hello.
So I'm really happy to be here again, and it's really good that we're talking about this topic. Keep in mind, I'm not a psychologist, I'm just an enthusiast. I believe self-worth is at the core of most of our problems. It's very hard to talk about it, to be honest. So prior to agreeing to the interview, I was actually like, this might be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
For me, self-worth is a feeling of intrinsic worth, so that we're worthy the way we are, independent of external achievements or the opinions of others. And that's kind of what makes it very difficult, because how do you find self-worth? How do you get to that stage where you feel worthy just the way you are, especially like nowadays? So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about this and to find possible solutions together. I'm really intrigued by how this is going to go.
Thank you. I'm ready to collaborate on this topic. It's also been on my mind for a long time. And you're right, especially for young adults between 18 and 30 or 35 even. It's nowadays such an important topic. You mentioned already there are many influences in society. People want to have achievements, and then they start to define themselves through these achievements, for example, or through their salaries. Another example, why do you personally think self-worth is such an important topic for this target group, like young adults between 18 and 35?
I think it's an important subject for everybody, but
Mhm.
young people are our future. And I think this generation has been very much influenced by the media, very much been influenced by people online on social media,
Hmm.
such as, let's say, Andrew Tate and people
Mhm.
like this. And also, this generation has been very much influenced by capitalism and capitalistic ideas. We've been given ideas that if we go to university, we study well, life's going to be a breeze, because that's what it used to be like for the boomer generation, for example.
Mhm.
And then you got advancements in technology,
Hmm.
which are very hard to keep up with. And in this capitalist society, I believe there's a lot of, yeah, you're not worthy unless.
Mhm.
You're not worthy unless you're productive. You're
Hmm.
not worthy unless you have a life purpose. You're not worthy unless you buy this product. There's a lot of, you're not worthy unless. And
Mhm.
I think this is like a means of mind control to some extent, obviously,
Mhm.
because if you don't feel worthy, you're going to try find your worth on the outside. External validation, may it be through achievements, may it be through possessions, which could also go hand in hand, because I
Mhm.
worked really hard, now I got this amazing car I can show off.
Hmm.
And nowadays, social isolation is becoming increasingly more of a thing. To some extent, goes hand in hand. So all this pressure to achieve, to perform, maybe we start hiding as well.
Hmm.
So we have our families that we're not as closely knit with anymore. We're not taught social interaction as much. Then you had Corona, where you had to socially isolate for
Yeah.
like approximately 2 years. Young people nowadays have been hit by this very hard. I
Mhm.
also believe there's the rise of depression, anxiety, mental illnesses. And then there's the question, have they always been there and we just didn't have the means to diagnose them? Or is it more a question of these illnesses rising? So that's also always like a very difficult question. But I believe they're on the rise because of these things.
Really interesting because you already mentioned, I would say, some of the biggest challenges young people are facing nowadays, when it comes to building a healthy sense of self-worth. And I really liked also in the very beginning, you gave us the definition: self-worth, self-confidence as an inner state of being. And then, interestingly, all these challenges, they seems to appear from the outside, like isolation, then lack of community. I also would agree that there's a lack of healthy role models
Mhm.
coming along. Social media. Additionally, I would say also often creates pressure when it comes to the topic of self-worth. Young people, they always have to look perfect. They always have to be successful. You were talking about these achievements and also the products young people have to buy to be worthy, yeah, to be fitting in society or a group of peers.
Yes, it's so hard nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Capitalism has indoctrinated us so much
Hmm.
that now we ourselves make ourselves the product.
Mm.
And that's very much what I see on social media.
Hmm.
So we've watched ads of what life
Hmm.
should be like. And that's what you see now on social media.
Hmm.
Like ads of what women should look like. That's
Yeah,
what you see now on social media. But people are doing it themselves and they're acting as if they're the product. Does that make sense in a way?
absolutely. I
Yes.
just in the morning, I talked to my brother, and he's also comparing himself with other digital stars, somehow role models, and comparing his appearance to them. And then at the end, what he figured out that maybe this person is not even existing. So what you were talking about, like you can actually post everything on social media, and now with the help of artificial intelligence, you can even fake everything.
Mm-hmm.
This concept of humans being perfect products makes a lot of sense. And also the pressure behind it. Okay, if I am like a product, then I always have to be perfect. I need to have so many features. I need to be flexible, but also I need to look good the whole time. I need to perform the whole time. It's creating so much pressure. And the next question would be, when it comes to failure and rejection as also a normal part of life, um, what would you suggest? How can we, as young individuals, as young members of society, deal with failure and rejection, with these moments, incidents, without letting them destroy our self-worth?
I think that's when we're kind of coming to the core of self-worth. It is feeling worthy despite rejection and failure coming your way. Remembering that you're worthy as a human being, even if you're not perfect.
Hmm.
I was like a really bad, or I am to some extent like perfectionist. So it's
Hmm.
like a way to stay safe. If I do everything as perfectly as possible,
Hmm.
I minimize possible risks or things I perceive as risk.
Hmm.
I was religiously doing that, staying safe, my perceived safety, although safety is an illusion essentially.
Hmm.
And when failures came my way or rejection, I felt like I was crumbling.
Hmm.
Impossible to deal with it because I was trying to get safety and I was trying to get my self-worth through my perfectionism, through the external,
Hmm.
rather
Okay.
than realizing I'm worthy
Hmm.
regardless. Yeah, so this is like the main thing about self-worth, I believe. It's always easy to feel worthy if everything's going perfectly fine.
Hmm.
If achievements are coming my way, if I take on a new job, whatever, it all goes well, it's smooth sailing. Yeah, easy to feel worthy.
Hmm.
Easy, but it's not easy when I'm going through a breakup, when I lose my job, some friends stop talking to me, all this type of stuff. I still need to see that I'm worthy as a human being, and I only actually have myself. So I need to look after myself as well. And I need
Mm-hmm.
to like value myself.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that, if we don't have that self-worth
Hmm.
established, it will be very difficult to navigate life. Because
Hmm.
if I constantly attune to, okay, where's it going the easiest so I feel good? Um, what can I do to please others so I feel good? What can I do to minimize any possible risk of rejection and failure so that my self-worth isn't threatened?
Yeah.
It's a very limiting life.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. That's something I also um, recognized actually with myself that I've had such a narrow glance on life. Because, yeah, it all comes back to security. You don't want to threaten your own self-worth. So you have to please the whole time. You have to perform in front of everyone, keep the image that you're strong and everything is good with you just to fit in. Yeah, it really like reduces your level of being authentic, being real, and being yourself. And it's a constant, how can I say, you're the whole time um, together, you live your life together the whole time with fear, being scared. Okay, maybe
Yes.
if I show up who I really am, then maybe they will not accept me. They don't, they will not like me and stuff like this. So this can really become very difficult to live such a narrow, yeah, narrow lifestyle.
Yeah, it's constant stress, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But would you say for yourself you have overcome this dynamic?
I've managed I've managed it pretty well. I believe I'm a bit of an empath or I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I'm very attuned to the needs of others because of my upbringing. And for me, it was really important to kind of like isolate or
Hmm.
to do my own thing for some time to get to know myself, what is important to me, what are my values, not what everybody else is saying and wants, what are my values, what are my opinions,
Mm-hmm.
what am I standing for? And because I've gone through this process and I've gotten to know myself better, and at the same time, I've started to treat myself better as well, because my self-worth was super low.
Mm-hmm.
Said people pleaser. Everybody's
Yeah.
needs were above my own needs, which led to burnout and burnout again. Like it was to an extreme level.
Hmm.
Extreme. Like even small things, I'd think, no, they probably don't want it this way. Even if I met a friend and
Mhm.
I really had to get something done, I didn't want to let them wait 2 minutes to quickly organize my life. No, I wouldn't want to let them wait. So I'd entertain them and then I'd like postpone whatever was super, super urgent, even if it just took 2 minutes, postpone it till later. You can't imagine what amount of stress that can
Yeah.
cause in an individual. Like, to what level can you be a people pleaser? Like, if they're my friend, they can wait 2 minutes. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through something stressful or I gotta sort something out, right? So my
Yeah.
people pleasing was like insane,
Mm-hmm.
insane. And that's why I had to work so much on it. Like there was no self-worth. I didn't even know who I am, what I wanted.
Hmm.
So first going through this self-isolation type of phase or self-finding phase and learning to
Mm-hmm.
be nice to myself and learning to prioritize myself.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
In a healthy way, I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like not just like this egocentric, like I'm not just like turning into like an egocentric person now and just only doing what I want like constantly and it's not
Mm-hmm.
about that, but it's like finding this healthy balance, like you say.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think my self-worth is good. Like it would be very hard to post on social media. It sometimes is hard, but it would be very hard if my self-worth wasn't as good as it is because I've gone all through all this stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what I have to say is valuable. And because I believe in the value of it,
Ah,
it's
okay.
easier. And that's again tied to self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
Even if not everybody agrees with me, I
Mm-hmm.
still find it potentially valuable. I see
Mm-hmm.
the point. And that's also kind of like the life of an artist in a way. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody tells you what you're doing is useless, for example. If you're an
Mm-hmm.
artist, you don't work your full-time job, but you paint.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling you you should get a job. Why always like sitting at home painting? Like this is not going to pay the bills. But as
Mm.
an artist, you do it anyway. You have to
Yeah.
go through this because you see the value, you have the passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think also like a lot of artists kind of like
Mm.
fail because self-worth.
Yeah.
I'm worthy that I kind of put myself out there. I'm worthy that my authentic self can be seen because I
Mm-hmm.
believe my authentic self is worthy regardless of rejection, failure, praise or no praise.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the main thing. And for that to happen, I had to really find, not get to know myself and allow for this authenticity to flourish. Because if I
Mm-hmm.
constantly criticize myself from the get-go, nothing's gonna happen. How can I be authentic if I'm the first line of criticism?
Mm.
So we reject ourselves before other people can reject us. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I've managed to overcome more or less.
Thank you so, so much. I guess you already mentioned for our viewers very practical advices. I will try to summarize it and please add on if I forgot something. So, number one, you mentioned figure out what are your personal values. I really like this point. Not what are the values of others or what society tells me or social media, but what are your own personal values. Then the last point you mentioned, I also really like figure out the inner voice. Sometimes, yeah, it can be very critical with oneself. Then try to reshape, reform it so that there is no constant criticism in this inner voice, but also something encouraging. So that's also very good relationship towards your inner voice and let it not be your biggest critic. Yeah, let it not be the person who criticizes you most. Let this not be your own self. Then prioritizing yourself in a healthy way. Values, prioritizing, inner voice. And I think I forgot one point. If you remember it, that we
Yeah, I
can
think you were pretty much spot on. Was there like something else? I
criticise.
can't remember what I said myself. No. Um,
Yes,
no,
no,
but
it's
you
very
got the main
nice.
points. Like the main point, like for me, it was like social isolation in a way, but it's more like
Yeah.
finding myself. And I had to do it a bit in isolation, more or less, because
Hmm.
I'm too tuned to the needs of others sometimes, or yeah, like we said. And then also like prioritizing oneself exactly, which is it kind of goes hand in hand. So like taking time for yourself to get to know yourself is already prioritizing yourself in a way. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's like another point. And then not being the first line of rejection, like not
Yeah.
just rejecting yourself before others can reject you because out of fear of rejection.
Hmm.
And then like yeah, really connecting to your authenticity through those things.
Yeah. And I think at this last point you mentioned, I really like this the quotation, the sentence, you are worthy regardless what others say, regardless of your failures. Ah, now I remember what you mentioned when you spoke about the artists. You mentioned
Yeah.
value your voice, value your ideas. So give yourself the permission that what I'm doing, what I'm saying is worthy, is good enough in a way. I really like this point. Yeah.
And that's also like the only way to gain empirical data. Because if
Hmm.
I'm from the get-go, so I got an idea, I reject it straight away because I'm like, who am I to do this? And I don't know what our brains tell us.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time the blueprint we have from growing up, what people tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Society is also like kind of like, stay in your lane, don't be too much, do what you're told to. And then we internalize that. So we have an idea,
Yeah.
we picked it ourselves. It's never coming out. It's just in our heads. We think, it wouldn't work anyways. We don't actually try to do the thing we wanted to do. We don't try. So we're never going to find out if it could have worked or not, or if it would have worked for us, because it working is also like subject to interpretation. We're never going to find out. In theory, it could actually be really well perceived by people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
like an option. And we just don't have that on our radar. We're never going to find out basically, and we assume the worst sometimes. So I've like uploaded a video about anxiety on my YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically anxiety. It's basically a delusion
Mm-hmm.
because nothing's happened, nothing bad's happened, and our brain just replays the possible worst scenarios, and we believe that, oh, this is very likely to happen because the anxiety stresses us and tells us it's so likely to happen. It's a delusion
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the time, if we then go and try the thing, it ends up being a bit different to what we expected. And it's also like the energy we bring into the thing as well sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a delusion. So we're never going to find out because we're too scared or too influenced by our own delusions.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem lies. And that way, we also got a harder time building our self-worth
Mm-hmm.
because we never have this like achievement where I'm like, oh, I put myself out there authentically
Yeah.
and I liked it. I liked what happened, even though people might not take it on, but at least I did what I wanted to do and I did it. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
how cool.
Yeah.
And people like it even better, but that's just the easy way. We're not always meant to go the easy way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I also like the point you mentioned in combination to what you just said. Our inner voice, especially when it's a negative one, if the voice is criticizing us a lot, that at the end you will never see growth. That's a very good sign because if our viewers maybe for the first time in their lives figure out, okay, there is an inner voice, but what is this voice actually telling to me the whole time? Sometimes we're so busy we don't even hear it. And one sign that there might be a negative inner voice is that you never have the outcomes you're dreaming of. You never have your dreams fulfilled, the future you want to have, because this voice is not allowing growth. And I think you gave very good advice on the importance to allow yourself to go through to overcome this fear, to overcome yeah, the scary moment, to take the risk, to just be your authentic self, and then at the end others will always judge you, even if you maybe don't paint this picture, don't make this YouTube video or whatever you want to do, others will also judge you, but it's not your responsibility. I think you really good summarized that the responsibility we have, everyone for him or herself alone, is to just give it a try. Um, and then be happy, okay, I just did it because it was important for me. And this also goes hand in hand with the point where you mentioned you need to stick to your own inner set of values. Um, what would be like a final message you would like to share with young people who at the moment might feel not good enough?
Don't let society or people that don't like you or whatever it is, don't let it get you down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them win. Don't let the teachers in school win who said
Hmm.
you're too dumb to go to university. Don't let the critical parent win who was like, why are you not like your brother? You could be doing so much better. Don't let also like your own inner voice that's just negative. win. Like, I'm not talking about the constructive feedbacks you get. I'm talking about the people that constantly push you down. You can decide to let them win, but it's not a good idea because it's only going downhill from there.
Hmm.
If you're not authentic, if you're not pursuing your dreams, it's gonna potentially end quite badly. I was pretty much depressed when I wasn't allowing myself to be myself. And I was so scared of rejection and everything. I was essentially depressed. And the worst thing that can happen is that we get to the end of our lives and realize this was my life. Who did I live it for? Nobody ever thanked me. I did everything for other people, for them to appreciate me. And what I realized, nobody cares. Nobody appreciates the effort. People don't even see the effort. They think I'm doing what I want to do anyways.
Hmm.
And like you said, which are very much like people are gonna criticize you regardless if you do it or not. If you
Hmm.
do it, they might be like, oh, who's she or who's he to do that? Oh my God, like who do they think they are?
Hmm.
Or oh my God, he's trying another business. Come on, like the other one failed. But if you do nothing, they might criticize you as well. He's always just like sticking to his guns. He's always just doing the same thing. Oh, what a boring guy. He's got no stories to tell.
Yeah.
Or like,
Hmm.
she's always so socially awkward. Very nice, but you feel like he can like manipulate her. People are gonna find whatever. So
Hmm.
might as well do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do what you want to do. It's a very nice final quotation, I would say, final words for this very lovely interview. So self-worth, what we learned today in this interview for First Life together with Sandy, interview number 4, looking forward for even more interviews. We learned that self-worth is way more an inner state of being than outside recognition. We learned that society, even closest members of friendship circles or families, can criticize us in a way that can help us to grow, but can also reduce our worth of our self-worth, our worth of self. So we have to be, yeah, very careful. And I think the strongest message was really like, try, just give it a try, be your authentic self, and believe that your voice and your actions are valuable. I thank you so much for this interview again. And yeah, let's see what the next topic might be. And see you soon.